Welcome to Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky, as the Evansville Otters head on the road to battle the Florence Y'alls, two first-place teams in the West Division. They are tied with identical 26 and 15 records. This series, 3 games on the road in Florence, Tuesday to Thursday, will decide who gets to boast just about the midway point lead in the Frontier League as the 2021 regular season rolls on. My name is Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for joining me in the booth from Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. The Otters coming off a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Schaumburg Boomers. Last weekend, it was a doubleheader sweep that wrapped up that 3-game series on Sunday. They're looking to bounce back in time as they take on their West Division rivals, the Florence Y'alls. It's the battle for the Frontier League's West Division, continuing tonight after a 43-minute rain delay. You're listening to the Evansville Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. First pitch scheduled for 7:15 as the Otters will send Polo Portela to the mound up against right-hander for the Y'alls, Edgar Martinez. You could call Polo Portela something of a stopper, as he comes off a 7-inning, 1-run performance against the Joliet Slammers last Wednesday, July 7th at Bosse Field, a game in which he struck out 8 batters and scattered 4 hits. The Otters, by the way, for Portela, they are 8-0 this season when he takes the hill. Evansville, they're meeting Florence for the third time this season, and the series of the season currently stands at 4-2. The Otters having won both series, once on the road and then once again at home. The Otters returned to Y'all's Ballpark for the first time since June 8th to June 10th when they took 2 of 3 from the Y'alls here. This Otters lineup, it's got a pretty good offense. It includes 3 of the top 10 hitters in the Frontier League. Switch-hitting shortstop Andy DeJesus, who homered on Sunday, enters 3rd in the league in hitting with a .346 batting average. His teammates, J.R. Davis and Elijah McNamee, with averages of .340 and .336, both of whom also homered Sunday, sit in 7th and 10th place, respectively. The Otters, again, going up against their West Division foes. You're listening to the Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network. We will, after a short break, give you a recap of what went down last Sunday following an off day yesterday on Monday before we turn to lineups and first pitch. Once again, you are listening to the Otters Digital Network, the Evansville Otters pregame show on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of your sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show, now for a recap of Sunday's doubleheader between the Otters and Schaumburg Boomers. Well, Evansville lost early leads in both billings of that Sunday doubleheader to suffer a series sweep at the hands of the Schaumburg Boomers at Bosse Field. The Otters dropped Game 1 by a 7-5 score, though they had been set to a large early lead. The Otters had scored 5 runs in the bottom of the second thanks to a 3-2, 2-out RBI single from Miles Gordon and back-to-back home runs from Andy DeJesus and J.R. Davis, a 3-run and solo shot, respectively. The Boomers shot right back in the top of the third for 5 of their own. Otters starter Braden Scott. Alberto Schmidt opened the Schaumburg scoring with a 2-run homer to left. That was followed in the inning by a Quincy Niporti sacrifice fly and Angelo Gumbs' 2-run double. Quincy Niporti crushed the Otters on the day, driving in 2 more runs for the Boomers in Game 1. Niporti added his second RBI of the day in the top of the 5th with a run-scoring single off Otters reliever Tyler Spring, who had just come in to relieve Braden Scott with no one out and 2 aboard. Niporti would cap off Game 1 scoring with his first home run of the day in the top of the 7th, pushing the Boomers' lead to 7-5, where the score would hold for the final. Isaiah Rivera would earn the win, while Darryl Thompson picked up his 4th save of the season, and Braden Scott took the loss. Game 2 also began the way of the Boomers, when Niporti smashed a 2-run home run to left field that gave the Boomers a 2-0 lead in the top of the first. Evansville answered right back in their opening at bat, scoring 4 runs in the inning. J.R. Davis opened the Otters scoring with an RBI single, followed by an RBI fielder's choice from Riley Crane. Elijah McNamee followed Cranes at bat with an opposite field home run to right, giving the Otters a 4-2 lead. The score would hold until the top of the fifth. When Quincy Niporti homered again. We'll step aside for the national anthem on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. The Evansville Otters squaring off against their West Division rivals, the Florence Y'alls. Both teams in a first-place tie in the West Division. And taking the mound for the Y'alls in game one of this three-game set, Edgar Martinez, the 4-2 right-hander, sporting a .485 earned run average, making his 9th start of the season. He goes against an Otters lineup that looks like this. Miles Gordon will lead off, batting left-handed and play center field. Andy DeJesus, the switch-hitting shortstop, bats second, followed by J.R. Davis, the right-handed hitting designated hitter. Riley Crane cleans up over at first base. He also hits left-handed. Elijah McNamee in right, hits fifth. And Brady Cordero in the sixth spot will play over at third base. Andrew Penner, Bryce Denton, and Justin Felix round out that latter third. Now, as the warm-up pitches have been concluded, Miles Gordon will stand in. His first at bat of the ball game. The wind from Martinez, first pitch. Gordon shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball outside, 1-0. Gordon hitting better at the plate as of late, finding his way aboard all season long. The 1-0 is a called strike, top of the zone. 89 from Martinez. 42 2/3 innings for the Y'alls right-hander. 1-1, low and inside. Gordon had been seeing a lot of the shift against Joliet and Schaumburg. The 2-1 grounded foul of first. The Y'alls playing a little bit more conservative defense. Only two infielders on the right side, two on the left. Otters, their blue alternates, road gray pants, as the 2-2 is fouled in and out of the glove of the catcher, Trevor Crayport. Y'all's wearing their home whites. Red lettering. Caps with a white front and blue bill. Red backing. Another 2-2 for Martinez. It's taken out toward left center. Left fielder Axel Johnson. Underneath it, makes the catch. Defensive alignment for the Alls coming up. Johnson just made the catch in left. Connor Crane in center. Rodney Tenney in right. Around the horn for the Alls, it's Chad Setio, Luis Pintor, Harrison DeNicola, and Joe Lytle. Third, short, second, and first. And catching Edgar Martinez is Trevor Crayport. Now it's Andy DeJesus' turn. Switch hitting shortstop, homered in game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. He takes a strike on the fastball. Martinez, prototypical right-hander, really favors using that fastball to get ahead early in the counts. 0-1, fastball in on the hands, fouled off to the left, behind the seats at third. DeJesus missed about 10 ball games, 10 days, with a sore hand as the 0-2 is fouled back toward the netting. Was able to collect multi-hit games in both of Sunday's contests. Martinez well ahead in the count, the 0-2. Runs inside. DeJesus throws his arms up, getting out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes after seeing 3 fastballs. One-two is a called third strike. DeJesus jumped out of the way of that one and didn't like the call. And these fans here at Y'all's Ballpark could clearly see that. By the way, behind home plate, interesting of note, Roger Fulks over at first, Corey Lyle, and at third, Jeffrey Spisak. Now J.R. Davis stands in with 2 out, nobody aboard in the top of the first. He slashes 1 foul back to the netting. Roger Fulks was at the center of controversy at Bosse Field Friday night. He threw out both hitting coach Bobby Siegel and skipper Andy McCauley. He threw out Siegel, apparently for arguing balls and strikes. A line the 0-1 for Martinez. Behind the fastball, up in the zone, cut on and missed 0-2. McCauley was thrown out after the Otters skipper had asked for an appeal down to first on a check swing and surprisingly was not granted by Fulks. That appeal, that's almost always allowed, especially the runner or umpires at first and third. Ground ball base hit to the right of the second baseman, Harrison DeNicola, for J.R. Davis. He's aboard. By the way, for Davis, that extends his hitting streak to 7 games. Otters will have a 2-out base runner. As Riley Crane stands in. But after that was not granted, Andy McCauley would be thrown out, and then following that ejection, step off here, Roger Fulks re-instigated a little bit of conflict with Otters catcher Dakota Phillips. And the pitch, first pitch to Riley Crane, is ripped into right for a base hit. Davis will head 90 feet from home on the base hit, as with 2 out, the Otters will have runners at the corners. Back-to-back 2-out hits off Edgar Martinez in the top of the first. Now it's Elijah McNamee batting in a run-scoring opportunity. He hit a home run in Game 2 of the doubleheader Sunday evening. It was a 2-run shot in the first inning. First pitch to McNamee. Starts him off maybe with the cutter. It missed low and away. But looked appetizing to McNamee. First pitch swinging, trying to get ahead with some ambush tactics. Martinez jumps ahead 0-1. They go right back to that pitch. This time McNamee able to lay off low and away. McNamee, one of the 3 top 10 hitters in the Frontier League that these Otters can sport in their lineup. The 1-1 skips to the backstop. J.R. Davis thought about it, but a fortuitous bounce for Trevor Caport, the catcher, will keep Davis at third. Meanwhile, Riley Crane will advance on the wild pitch. So now base hit could score 2. McNamee ahead in the count. The 2-1. They are trying to pound that low outside corner on McNamee, and Martinez not quite able to find the strike zone. So Trevor Crayport will go out to talk with his pitcher. Martinez coming off a couple of rough outings. He last pitched July 7th against the Lake Erie Crushers. Did not make it through 4 innings. He went 3 2/3, took the loss after giving up 7 runs, 5 of them earned on 8 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. 3-1 to McNamee. And swinging at a fastball outside part of the plate. McNamee can't catch up. Count now full on the Otters' right fielder. McNamee, the numbers indicate he loves batting with men on base. The 3-2. Fouled back to the netting. McNamee stays alive. McNamee with runners aboard, hitting .457 through 35 at-bats. With men in scoring position, .406. 3-2. And there is a fastball that misses low for ball 4. Now the bases will be loaded as Andretti Cordero steps in. Davis, Crane, and McNamee all aboard. Third, second, and first. 2 2-out hits. And now the walk to McNamee. Cordero, the third baseman, bats, and ripping one into right. That'll get down for a base hit. Davis will score from third and Crane from second. Andretti Cordero puts the Otters on the board in the top of the first with a 2-out, 2-run single to right. Cordero, who led the Texas League in 2019 with RBIs for the Frisco Rough Riders, picks up 2 of his own here. In the first inning, Cordero with his new club, the Otters, picking up his first RBIs of the season. Made his Otter debut last Tuesday, a week ago today. First pitch to Andrew Penner is in for a strike. The 0-1. Looks like he took something off there. Might have gone with the slider at 83 miles per hour. Did Martinez. And he jumps ahead of Penner. 0-2. Bars at the corners, 2 out. Otters lead by 2. 1-1. That's in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. And the Otters' second baseman, Penner. Penner got to play in Game 2, Sunday's doubleheader. Picked up a couple of base hits in the 5th and 7th innings fighting with 2 strikes to right field each time, and wasting this one away. Up and over the seats behind first. It's now a 2-2 count. Martinez set, and a 2-2, grounded to the right side. Going to be a tough play. Second baseman will realize, that's Harrison DeNicola, that Martinez got over to the bag too late. It's an infield single for Andrew Penner that is able to bring Elijah McNamee home from third, and the Otters lead 3-0 in the top of the first. Well, there's a little squibber to the right side. Martinez came off the mound to try to feel it to his left, but the ball got by him, and the second baseman, Harrison DeNicola, just had too far to run to be able to maintain it or pick it up cleanly by himself. And so the first baseman, Joe Lytle, was pulled well off the bag trying to field the infield single for Andrew Penner. First pitch to Bryce Denton. Called a strike outside part of the plate, 0-1. And the 0-1 misses out. Otters take to a 3-0 lead already here in the top of the first. Nice way to set the pace on the road. Hoping to get off a 3-game losing Schneid. Throw behind Cordero at second. Second baseman DeNicola creeping in. He's back standing. Denton was 1 for 3. Game 2 of that doubleheader Sunday with a double. 1-1, hard hit ground ball to short. Luis Pintor goes the short way to DeNicola at the bag at second for the final of the inning. But the Otters pick up 3 runs thanks to Andredi Cordero's 2-out line drive to right and Andrew Penner's RBI infield single. We head to the bottom of the first. Evansville 3, Florence coming to bat in Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Make that YouTube Live.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Bottom of the first inning, Otters lead 3-0. Polo Portela picks up a strike on Axel Johnson. Fastball at 87, outside part of the plate. Called a strike. Otters picking up a 3-run lead in that top half of the inning, thanks to a 2-run liner to right by Andredi Cordero with 2 out, and then a little 2-out, 2-strike magic from Andrew Penner. The 0-1. Able to get Axel Johnson to swing through it. Off-speed pitch at 82 from Portela as he jumps ahead of Johnson, 0-2. Portela, tough assignment for him. This lineup for Florence as the 0-2 misses low and away with a fastball. Might have frozen Johnson. How close that was to the low outside edge. Portela looking for his 6th win of the season. Otters have won each of his 8 prior outings. Breaking ball, little slider from Portela. Rolled foul up the first base line. Portela, the 5-0 record. ERA under 4, 391. 9th start of the season for him. Looking to strike out Johnson, the former Gateway Grizzly. 1-2. And that's popped up back toward the press box. Just above us, no chance for a play. Fielding percentage on the season remains 0 for 0 chances. Portela has struck out 47 this season through 46 innings. And the 1-2 slider misses just below the knees on Johnson. Johnson, who was released by the Grizzlies on June 30th, then picked up by the Yalls on July 2nd. The 2-2 hit pretty well out toward center field. Gordon going back toward the track to the wall, leaping up, and he's got no play. It's a leadoff home run for Axel Johnson to straightaway center. And the Yalls have put one up in the bottom of the first with the first batter. It's a 3-1 ball game here at Yalls Ballpark. Johnson against the Gateway Grizzlies last weekend. He hit 2 home runs in the getaway game against his former club. He's hit 3 since coming over to the Yalls and been hitting pretty well with his new Florence club. Might be the change of scenery he's enjoying. First pitch now to Luis Pintor. It's a slider. It misses low and away. Let's go ahead and give you the defensive alignment for the Otters. Denton in left, Gordon in center, and McNamee in right. Bryce, Miles, and Elijah. Those outfielders. Then it's Andredi Cordero at third as the 1-0 slider tracks across the zone, called a strike right on the outside edge, 1-1. Andy DeJesus at short, J.R. Davis at second, and Riley Crane at first. Catching Polo Portela. That's Justin Felix. Now the 1-1. Back-to-back-to-back sliders. This one misses low and away. Can't get Pintor to bite. Portela working with Justin Felix. 2-1. Back to that slider. He wasn't expecting it 4 times in a row. He swung through it. Now a 2-2 count. That, by the way, is your pitcher-catcher battery of the ball game, sponsored by The Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call, that is, 812-475-9000. 2-2. Oh, boy, that slider looked like Felix might have framed it just perfectly to pick up the strikeout on the low outside corner, but no dice from Roger Folks. It's a full count on Pintor. Following the leadoff home run, Portela looking for the first out of his evening. 3-2. They go with the fastball and apparently missed just inside. Maybe a ball or two off the black. It's a leadoff, well, following the leadoff home run, it's a walk to Luis Pintor. That brings up Chad Setio, the leading hitter in the Frontier League. Sports a batting average nearing 360, 358 for him, 7 home runs, 31 runs driven in. Part of something of a murderer's row in this lineup. First pitch, fastball outside part of the strike zone, 0-1. Between Luis Pintor, Chad Setio, Trevor Crayport, the cleanup batter, and Harrison DeNicola, who bats 5th, all batting average over 320. Throw over to first, diving back safely. Pintor hitting 321, Setio again leading the Frontier League, hitting 358, then Crayport hits 338 so far in the season, and Harrison DeNicola tied for 3rd in the Frontier League with Andy DeJesus with a 346 batting average. The 0-1. There's a fastball that misses just off, 1-1. Portela, the 1-1. That hit Felix's glove, pretty much right on the money where he set up, but he did set up on the outside part of the plate. Might have missed just outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Chad Setio. Another throw over to first, again back safely, is Luis Pintor. Setio, the Medina, Ohio native, 27-year-old. Time called at the plate. Setio back in there. Big hole on the right side with Crane holding on the runner at first. 2-1. And it's ripped to right. That's a base hit for Setio. That will put runners at the corners. The throw goes to third. Not in time to get Pintor there. And now 2 hits and a walk. Bring up Trevor Crayport with nobody out in the bottom of the first. Trevor Crayport comes into this one second in the league in homers with 13 and second in ribbies, 43. First pitch to him. Slider misses low and away. Bending out of the crouch to block that one is Justin Felix. Turf field here in Florence. Brown turf infield. Now the 1-0 to Crayport. Another slider. That one missed just off. 2-0 now. Pintor off third and Setio off first. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Throw over to first here. They want to keep Setio right there. Portela down on the count to Crayport, 2-0. They go back to that slider, and they pick up a strike, 2-1. They threw 5 of those breaking pitches in a row to Luis Pintor. They were able to get him to a 2-2 count, but from there, Portela lost Pintor, and the all shortstop able to work the walk. 2-1 fastball outside part of the plate, called a strike. Crayport turns back. Take a look at Roger Fulks. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. And that breaking ball low and away. Crayport able to hold off. As once again, Felix had to come out of the crouch to block that one. Cordero, the third baseman, playing close to the line. About 4 or 5 steps behind the bag at third. Now the 3-2. Runner goes from first, and it's a pop-up. Justin Felix around home in fair territory, up toward the line of third. He gloves it for a big out number 1, and Andretti Cordero willing to give that one a little round of applause. Well, it goes without saying, a ground ball gets you out of the inning now. However, Harrison DeNicola, left-handed batter, with the runner at first base, will still have that hole available to him on the right side. And DeNicola is no easy out. Again, enters with a batting average at .346. First pitch to DeNicola. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. You can tell fairly early on the approach here against these Y'alls hitters, attacking them east and west. Throw over to first, diving back safely, Chad Setio. Inning began with a leadoff home run to Axel Johnson, followed by a walk to Luis Pintor, who's now at third, who advanced 90 feet from home on the Chad Setio single. The 1-0 is shallow pop, foul territory behind third. Andretti Cordero underneath it to make the catch on the ball that was twisting back toward that fair line. It would have been a foul ball either way, but Cordero had to bend the glove back behind his head. 2 big pop-ups there for Portela. Portela, credit him with fastball that must be showing some good rise right now, as Joe Lytle stands in with 2 out. Runners still at first and third. First pitch is ripped out towards center field. Gordon coming in, and he'll make the catch on the liner for the final out of the inning. 1 run scores. Axel Johnson, the leadoff home run, but nice job by Polo Portela to leave 2 stranded. Nonetheless, Otters lead 3-1 on the way to the top of the second here at Y'alls Ballpark. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Top of the second, Otters lead 3-1. Edgar Martinez back for his second inning of work. First pitch, fastball at 88. Justin Felix bats. He takes a strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Otters scored 3 in the top of the first, thanks to a 2-out, 2-run single by Andredi Cordero. As the 0-1 slider is cut on and missed. Felix behind 0-2. After 3 men had reached, he was able to deliver that 2-run single with the bases loaded. All with 2 out. J.R. Davis, Riley Crane had 2 out singles, and Elijah McNamee would walk to load the bases. As the 0-2 slider is on the outer third of the plate, called a strike. Justin Felix set down for the first out of the inning. And Cordero getting that 2-run line drive single to right. And Andrew Penner hit an infield single to the right side, perfectly placed, to score the Otters' 3rd run of the inning. Ryan Brown with you here in Florence, Kentucky, as Miles Gordon takes a strike outside part of the plate, 89. Again, Martinez, just like the textbook would tell you, as the 0-1 slider, perhaps cutter, misses up at 84. Start him off with fastballs early, 4 strikes. And he does it, working around 88 to 90. The 1-1 misses up. And the Otters' leadoff batter, Miles Gordon, the Ontario, Canada native. The 2-1, that's a sinking line drive out toward left field. That will fall in front of Axel Johnson. Miles Gordon now 1 for 2. That'll bring up Andy DeJesus with a man on and 1 out. Gordon picked up a base hit in each of those 2 games of the doubleheader. Throw over to first. That skips in front of the first baseman, Joe Lytle. And he tumbles over Miles Gordon to block the baseball. Everybody's okay. Gordon maybe a little slow to get up there. Gordon has now been on base following that base hit in 12 consecutive games. Andy DeJesus rips one toward right. That's going to get foul. Question of how far did it go? And it was just able to clear the ballpark. There is a black iron fence to the right of the right field foul pole. Some youngsters, though, able to sneak a hand through it, grab the baseball, pick up a souvenir. And DeJesus bats the 0-1. Gordon goes from first. The throw down from Crayport is not in time, but Gordon overslides the slick turf. It's been raining here all afternoon, and I would go ahead and credit Mother Nature with caught stealing for Trevor Crayport. So now there are 2 out. Nobody on, as the 1-1 misses up and away. The 0-1 had missed outside. Worked almost like a perfect pitch out. And it was a strong throw down by Crayport, but Gordon had a good jump, and that slick turf. Gordon over slid the bag. The 2-1 fastball misses up and away. Can't imagine what a sinking feeling that must be, right? Say, oh, I think I've got this bag, but this continues. The 3-1 is cut on and missed by Andy DeJesus. You just feel yourself sliding over the bag. You try to grab hold of it as best you can, but momentum can only be evaded so well. 3-2 is lined out towards center. Nice crack by DeJesus, but it hangs up for Connor Crane to make the catch for the final out of the inning. Caught stealing by Trevor Crayport helps Edgar Martinez to a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Otters lead 3-1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Jordan Brower leads off the bottom of the second inning against Polo Portela. The line, the first pitch, fastball, up and away, cut on and missed by Brower. The left-handed hitting designated hitter enters with a .291 batting average, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Brower, his 4th season in Florence. The 0-1 misses off the plate. 1-0. 1-1, excuse me. There was a good bit of rain here in Florence ahead of the game. In fact, it delayed the Otters from having a chance to take on-field batting practice. The 1-1. That misses outside in the right-handed batter's box. And the rain delayed the start of this game until 7:15. 43-minute rain delay. But the benefits of a turf field, though it got pelted as the 2-1 is grounded weakly to short. Charging is DeJesus. Nice transfer over to first. He got him. And Andy DeJesus just made a very pretty play at short to get the first out of the inning. Charging in on a high, slow chopper. He was able to field it on a short hop off his left foot on his glove side. Make an immediate transfer to his throwing hand and fire on to Riley Crane at first, chest high. Getting Jordan Brower out of the left-handed batter's box. Here's Rodney Tenney. He bats from the same side, as does Brower. The wind in the first pitch to him is ripped right back up the middle. It falls one hop in front of Miles Gordon. It's a one-out single for Rodney Tenney. And it brings up one of 2 Cranes playing in this one. Connor Crane will bat right-handed for the Alls. He plays out in center field, and right now, over at first base, talking with Rodney Tenney, is Mr. Mayor Riley Crane. Connor Crane enters with the batting average around .214. First pitch called a strike. Portela gets ahead with the fastball, 0-1. Wonder if they might go back to that slider here. Opening it, Crane to roll over, something to the left side, and start a double play. 0-1. Fastball outside part of the plate, and just off of it. As Crane showed bunt, but pulled back to even the count at 1. Another throw over. Tenney dives back safely. Crane has spent a few years here in Florence. Like Brower, who led off the inning with a ground ball to short. He has played a few years here. He is in his 3rd season in a Florence uniform. The 1-1 slider cut on and missed. Down on the count now, 1-2. Portela, first time through the order, he has really favored that slider. Ahead of Crane here, and with a runner at first. We'll see if they go back to it against the right-handed hitter. 1-2. And it's fouled off back to the netting. 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Count remains 1-2. Crane, the 6'3", 210-pound right-handed hitter, turns 27 in a week. Another throw over to first. Again, Tenney back safely. Crane from Parker, Colorado, faces Polo Portela of Sacramento. 1-2, ground ball left side to Jesus, to Penner, over to first, and it is one hop in front and past Riley Crane. It'll go as a 6'4" fielder's choice. Crane aboard. It would have been a very close play at the bag anyway, even if Riley Crane had reeled that one in. There are now 2 down. Tenney erased. That's also a big pickup with Tenney's speed. Keep him off the base paths. Not that the center fielder Crane is any slouch himself. The Otters going to hope that they can keep Crane out of scoring position for Axel Johnson, who homered his first time. Leading off the Alls half of the first. The runner goes. The throw down from Felix. One hop, pick, tag. It's good. Justin Felix fires down to catch Connor Crane, trying to steal second. 2 caught stealings in the whole inning, all told. The Otters able to put together a 1-2-3 just like the Alls were. In the bottom of the second, 3-1 is the score. We're heading to the top of the third. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Otters with the lead.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named the world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
First pitch to J.R. Davis was a looping liner to the second baseman Harrison Danicola. Back a few steps. Glove side, he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Davis had started a 3-run, 2-out rally in the top of the first inning. They're able to keep him off base here in the top of the third. First pitch to Riley Crane is a called strike, 0-1. Crane, base hit of his own to right. Put runners at the corners. This one he grounds foul over toward the Otters dugout behind first. Down on the count now to Edgar Martinez, who was able to put up a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second, thanks to caught stealing from his catcher, Trevor Crayport. 0-2 right on the fastball. Fouling it straight back is Crane. The former Washburn University Ichabod going up against Edgar Martinez, native of the Dominican Republic. The 0-2 breaking ball. Big bender. Cut on and missed for the second out, and third K for Martinez. Now Elijah McNamee will stand in. McNamee drew a walk in the first to load the bases for Andredi Cordero. He takes a strike, 91 on the gun for Martinez. Martinez last faced the Otters back on July 1st. As the 0-1 misses out, 1-1. He went 4 2/3 and held the Otters at bay for much of that ball game. As the 1-1 cutter outside part of the plate gets a strike. Still a bit of a collapse in the fifth. He ended up issuing 6 walks in that one, hit a batter, allowed 6 runs on 4 hits, 6 Ks as well. Elijah McNamee calls for time granted by home plate umpire Roger Folks. The line, the 1-2. Slider misses out. Held off by McNamee. McNamee playing in his 41st game this season. It's his 40th start. The 2-2. Popped up, right side. That'll fall into the stands behind first. Oh, let's call it 10 rows up. McNamee, the 40th game of the year. He has been on base in 38 of those games. And he rips the 2-2 out towards center. Unfortunately, right at Connor Crane, who barely has to move. It's a 1-2-3 inning, his second for Edgar Martinez, getting into a bit of a groove. The Otters still lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Bottom of the third, Polo Portella facing Axel Johnson, the leadoff batter. First pitch, slider, backdoors it into the strike zone, 0-1. Johnson was batting when Justin Felix threw a one-hop strike onto Andy DeJesus, covering the bag at second. Was able to throw out Connor Crane to end the second inning, the 0-1. That's taken pretty well out towards center field. Axel Johnson hit a home run in his last at-bat, but here is only able to demonstrate some warning track power as Miles Gordon, that is, has it on the track, able to reach a glove up, making the catch right in front of the wall for the first out. Johnson gave it a ride, though. Mentioned how he had been liking his new club. Florence Yalls is being picked up from the Gateway Grizzlies, hitting .306, having got 11 for 36 in his first few games with the Yalls coming into tonight's action. 1 for 2 tonight with that home run. So far, the only offense to reach the scoreboard for Florence. Now it's Luis Pintor, walked his first time up. First pitch slider, misses out. 1-0. Polo Portella, 5-0 record. Tied for the league lead in pitching wins entering tonight's game. 1-0, they go right back to that pitch. It looked pretty good. Missed low and away, though. 2-0. Portella, the only remaining opening day starter still in the Otters rotation. The 2-0. There is the swing and a miss they were looking for from Pintor on the slider. They have shown him a steady diet of breaking balls in his first two at-bats. Pintor, the former 21st round pick of the Miami Marlins back in 2016. The 2-1. There it is again. This time, though, Pintor doesn't bite. 3-1. So he's seen 4 sliders. He's ahead in the count, 3-1. Probably got him geared up for the fastball. What do you do? 3-1. They go back to it, and it misses out for ball 4. Pintor aboard with his second walk of the day, as Chad Setio, who singled his first time, strolls to the plate, whips the bat around his right hand in a windmill motion, digs in, crowding the plate a little bit, as a little crouch as he gets into the batter's box, pumping the hands back and forth. First pitch, ripped back to the netting, 0-1. Portella rips the baseball from Felix on the toss back. Otters with a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the third. First of a 3-game series with their West Division rivals and fellow first-place club, the Florence Yalls. 0-1. Slider toward Setio's back foot. Setio able to hold up to even the count at 1. Sedio, 6'3" left-handed hitter. Throw over to first. Crane applies the tag as Pintor dives back safely. Otters on their roughest stretch so far of the season, and with a 26-15 record, that's not to say they have had too many rough stretches or that this one is particularly grave. The 1-1 is taken out toward left field. Bryce Denton in a few steps. He's got a glove on it. 2 down. Nice job with the off-speed pitch. Portela takes care of Sedio. It's now Crayport. Interesting to note, the pitch came in at 83, and Sedio took it the other way to left. Perhaps a late decision to swing there, or maybe that's just what he was looking for. Put decent enough wood on it, but had a big hole on the right side. The first pitch to Trevor Crayport is a slider called a strike. Right around the belt. Outside edge. Portela ahead, 0-1. Portela, who finished out his collegiate career at Cumberland University, going up against the former Georgia Institute of Technology product, Trevor Crayport. Throw over to first, runner back safely, 0-1. Slider fouled to the netting. He jumps ahead, 0-2. Now, the runner at first, though you don't want to see him advance into scoring position, you would have to imagine facing the cleanup batter for the Yalls and the man who sports the second most home runs in the Frontier League entering play. This one probably won't be anywhere close. Portela set, the 0-2. And credit them for going right after Crayport. The 87-mile-per-hour fastball looked to have caught the inside part of the plate. In fact, Felix, the catcher, had jumped up and was heading back toward the Otters dugout. But no strike called by the wily home plate umpire, Roger Folks. Count at 1-2. They went after him there. The 1-2 is a swing and a miss. So the 89-mile-per-hour fastball. Portela able to get Trevor Crayport for the final out of the inning. Otters lead 3-1 through the first third. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live. Nope, YouTube Live. That's it. You know where you're listening. You're here. We'll be right back in the top of the fourth.
Looking to buy a new home? We've got a sweet deal for you. Get a home sweet home mortgage loan from Heritage Federal Credit Union and get a great low rate, plus get $500 cash back. That's right. Get a great low rate on your mortgage loan and get $500 cash back. Apply at Heritage Federal Credit Union, where the mortgage loans are sweet and the service can't be beat. Get your $500 cash back today at your local HFCU branch or apply online at hfcu.info/mortgages.
Andredi Cordero fouls back the first pitch he sees from Edgar Martinez, the wine, the 0-1. And he goes back to the fastball and has Cordero swinging through it and diving out over home plate. Martinez faces Andredi Cordero, Andrew Penner, and Bryce Denton. 6-7-8 for the Otters. Cordero hit a 2-run, 2-out single his first time up. Gave the Otters a 2-0 lead. They now lead it 3-1. Here in the top of the fourth. The 0-2. Fastball at 90 miles per hour misses just outside. Great take from Cordero. Cordero, an aggressive hitter at the plate. You could have seen it right there on that pitch as his left foot went right to attack that fastball on the outside part of the plate. The 1-2 breaking ball misses up and in. Jumping and jolting his hands out of the way was Cordero. Worked it to 2-2, and he rips it. One hopper to second. DeNicola deep in the hole, fires off his back foot to the first baseman. Nice play by him to get the out. One down in the top of the fourth. Cordero, 2 hard hit balls. Now 1 for 2. Andrew Penner is able to battle with 2 strikes and put a ball down on the ground on the right side. That was perfectly out of reach of pitcher, first baseman, and second baseman. Drove in a run in the first. First pitch swinging is Penner. Fouls it off to the right. Out in the patio seating behind right field. The 0-1 is a line drive to left field. Andrew Penner 2 for 2 on the day. Penner heating up at the plate. 2 for 3. Game 2 of the doubleheader Sunday. Now 2 for 2 tonight. Former Washington Wild thing. Acquired by the Otters back in June. It was June 12th. The Otters picked him up for a player to be named later, Bryce Denton. Fouls back the first pitch he sees. Runner at first, 1 out. Bryce Denton, hard hit ground ball to short his last time. Went for a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the first. He was the 8th batter to bat in the Otters' opening frame. Throw over to first. Penner dives back safely. Oh, 1. And that missed just out. 1-1. Thought it might be a little cutter from Martinez. Martinez on the mound for the Yalls as the 1-1 is fouled up and over second deck here. Behind first at Yalls Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. Off Interstate 71 and 75, just south of Cincinnati. And the 1-2, that is in the turf, and it gets by the catcher, Crayport. Penner will advance on a wild pitch into scoring position. Count is now 2-2 on the Otters left fielder, Bryce Denton. They went with the slider in the turf. On the 1-2, now the 2-2. Fastball misses off. Denton able to hold up his swing in time. You got to be able to do that just as he did as a batter. Get the bat going in case you need to fight it off. But also have the hand strength, the forearm strength to hold that bat up. Now the count is full, 3-2. Underneath it and popped up, foul out of play. Edgar Martinez pitching on his 24th birthday. Born in Bajos de Jaina in the Dominican. 3-2. And he lifts it right side. First baseman and right fielder, Tenney and Lytle have a look, but it bounces onto the grassy knoll behind the picnic area that sits just off the right field line, out of play. Denton battling against Edgar Martinez. Martinez, who spent 4 seasons in the Marlins organization. And the 3-2 is ripped out towards center, and the sliding catch made by the center fielder, Connor Crane. Racing in on the line drive, makes the basket catch, throws towards second. Penner was reading that well, didn't want to stray too far from the bag, still wanted to advance to third if it got down. A line out for Bryce Denton, second out of the inning. 2 hard hit balls for the Otters left fielder. Now it's Justin Felix who struck out his last time. And the fastball outside part of the plate. Felix not able to catch up to it. 0-1. Felix on the first pitch. Looking to take it to left with 2 out. Oh, 1. This is low and away. Martinez had his best season back in 2019 with the Batavia Muck Dogs, an affiliated ball. A .250 earned run average through 15 games. As the 1-1 is popped up, Crayport back toward the stands behind home. The catcher, he watches it bounce about 6 rows back. Felix now bats with a 1-2 count. 13 starts for Martinez, 15 games, .250 the earned run average. Worked 72 innings, allowing 53 hits. He struck out 62 through 72 innings and walked 22. He's proven to be a little bit more wild this season, as through just 42 2/3 innings entering play, he had walked 24, which exceeded his total in Batavia through 72 innings. The 1-2 with 2 out. Breaking ball. That's a called third strike as it caught the inner third on Felix. Edgar Martinez able to strand Andrew Penner in scoring position to end the Otters' half of the 4th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Evansville leads 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth inning. Harrison DeNicola faces Polo Portela. First pitch swinging, ambush tactics, and he fights it to the left side. Past the shortstop, Andy DeJesus. Made the outfield turf on a line. It's a leadoff single for DeNicola. DeNicola now 1 for 2. As Joe Lytle stands in. DeNicola, Lytle, and Brower scheduled to bat 5, 6, and 7 in the inning. Lytle lined out to center. He also, on a Tuesday night game, Tuesday, June 29th. It was a 1-0 affair between the Florence Yalls and Evansville Otters at Bosse Field as the first pitch. Lytle shows bunt, pulls back, takes the ball outside. When the former Otter, Lytle, essentially won the game for the Yalls as he drove in the lone run of the ball game with a home run to left. Throw over to first here. He's back safely. Is Harrison DeNicola. The Wednesday game would be postponed. Another throw over. Again, DeNicola able to get a hand in. It was a home run in the 6th inning off Austin Gossman, who took the loss in that game after throwing 7 1/3 innings of work. The only run he gave up was the home run to Joe Lytle in a game that would end with a 1-0 final. And at that point, it had been the first earned run allowed by Gossman in his professional career. The 2-0. It is hard hit, grounded foul of first. Ball boy there to retrieve it off of his perch behind the right field line. Hands it to a young fan. Count now 2-1 on the Yalls' first baseman, Joe Lytle. Two-one pitch. Comebacker, perhaps. No, Felix will have it in front of home and fire to first for the first out of the inning. DeNicola advances into scoring position at second with 1 out. Works like a pseudo sacrifice, if you will. Lytle won't get credit for that. But hey, productive AB nonetheless. Jordan Brower grounded out to short his last time. He bats with a runner in scoring position. And 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Otters facing the Yalls. They took 2 of 3 from Florence when they were last here, June 8th to June 10th. First pitch to Brower. Fouls it, gets a piece of Justin Felix, the catcher. Home plate umpire Roger Fulks will take a baseball out to Polo Portela to give the catcher Felix an extra moment. Nice moment of camaraderie there. Otters won the first game of that series on June 8th by a score of 11-7. Dalton Stambaugh was the winner in Florence. The Otters left-hander, who had since been and has since been picked up by the Chicago Cubs organization, is the 0-1 off-speed pitch. Catches the outside edge for strike 2. Then in game 2 was another high-scoring affair, 13-6. And it was Jared Cheek for the Yalls, who was able to pick up the win in that one. And in game 3, the Otters would take it to a home run derby finale as the 0-2 fastball gets Jordan Bauer swinging on the outside part of the plate for 2 out. Second strikeout for Portela. And they would win that home run derby, taking 2 of 3 for the Yalls. A game that took 4 hours and 32 minutes to play, including that home run derby finale. And then the Yalls visited the Evansville Otters June 29th to July 1st. And the Otters took 2 of 3 then, dropping the first game and picking up the final 2 in a doubleheader. First pitch to Tenney. That's Rodney Tenney, the right fielder. Missed low perhaps, maybe a bit inside as well. The slider 1-0. Tenney singled his last time. Was erased on a fielder's choice. He bats with a man in scoring position and 2 out. Portela, a little inside move to look DeNicola back to second, who trots like a dressage horse back to the bag once he realizes Andy DeJesus and Andrew Penner, the middle infielders, are nowhere to be found. They're playing deep into the holes on the left and right sides. Tenney bats with a pretty bat. Up on the barrel, it's striped red and white, the Yalls colors. The 1-0 is a fly ball to shallow left. Bryce Denton, in some ways, he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Polo Portela is able to strand the leadoff base runner in the form of Harrison DeNicola. We head to the top of the 5th. Otters still lead it 3-1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Top of inning number 5, Edgar Martinez will face the Otters top of the lineup. First pitch misses low and in to Miles Gordon. And to Jesus on deck, J.R. Davis in the hole. Gordon singled his last time. The 1-0. This is just below the knees. Gordon ahead of the count. 2-0 now on the Otters center fielder. Gordon takes a strike on an 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Still ahead in the count, 2-1. 2-1 fastball misses in. Gordon, his last 10 games, 11 for 40. That's a .275 batting average. Had cooled off over his last 5. Ground ball hit hard to the first baseman, Joe Lytle, who steps on the bag for the first out of the inning, 3 unassisted. But Gordon certainly putting together some solid at-bats. He's now 1 for 3. And Andy DeJesus will step to the plate after taking a 3-2 pitch. Back in the second inning, out to center field. It was hard hit, but right at Connor Crane. First pitch. Hit out toward Crane once more. He's underneath it, a few steps to his right. And quickly, 2 are down. In the top of the 5th, J.R. Davis will head toward home plate. He uses the bat for the first few steps, something like a walking cane. Steps toward the right-handed batter's box, takes a practice hack, long and lethargic. Stands in, taps the bat once on home, lets it rest on his shoulder, pumps it into the air. The first pitch. This is low and outside, 85. We'll call that a cut fastball from Martinez. 1-0 on Davis. Now to the regular heater, below the knees. Davis 1 for 2. He lined out in his last AB in the 3rd. That's with 2 out, none aboard. Martinez winds behind his head. The 2-0 held onto it just a split second too long as it misses beyond the reach of the catcher Crayport and bounces to the backstop after missing outside. 3 balls, no strikes on Davis. 3-0. And he takes ball 4. 4-pitch walk to the Otters' number 3 batter and designated hitter, J.R. Davis. Davis certainly happy with that. It was a quick 4 or 5 pitches that Martinez was able to get the first 2 batters out on, and Davis, you knew he was going to be taking 1 pitch, if not 2 there. Found himself ahead in the count. Martinez continued to miss and figured, listen, if I can just draw a base on balls here to extend the inning, well, that's a big win for my club. First pitch swinging is Riley Crane. It's a drive to right into the corner and just foul. Perhaps by a foot or 2. It had the distance, but Crane jumped out just a split second ahead of that one. Crane will head back toward the turf circle. Davis back to first. Crane 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the first. Second baseman playing a shallow right field is Harrison DeNicola. And they go to the cutter off Crane's back foot, swinging away. He's now down in the count 0-2. Shortstop Luis Pintor still plays to the left of the second base bag. Don't know if they're keeping him on that side for the comfort of what Davis might do. Well, anyway, the 0-2 is a breaking ball that's cut on and missed. It misses in the turf, and Trevor Crayport will throw down to the first baseman, Joe Lytle, to complete the strikeout for the final out of the inning. Edgar Martinez able to work around the 2-out walk to J.R. Davis, but nearly a 2-run big fly for Riley Crane, just foul of the right field foul pole. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We've played half. The Otters still lead 3-1. That's been the score since all the way back in the first. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Connor Crane bats. In the bottom of the fifth, he's facing Polo Portela. First pitch, called a strike. That slider gets ahead of Crane, who grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice back in the second before he was thrown out trying to steal by Justin Felix. Polo Portela, he has put up 3 scoreless frames as the 0-1 slider catches the low outside edge, 0-2. Only run given up by Portela, a leadoff home run to Axel Johnson. Back in the bottom of the first. It's a 3-1 ball game. Otters with the lead. The 0-2, and there's a fastball they tried to freeze Crane with, but it misses just outside. 1-2 on the all center fielder Crane. Nice pitch selection there. Working backward in the count, the 1-2. They go back to that big slider, sweeping you might call it. It misses outside though as Crane holds off. 2-2. The Florence Y'all-Star mascot here at Y'all's Ballpark making his rounds. Saying hello to the Y'all's fans who've come out on something of a rainy but turned partly cloudy and somewhat sunny Tuesday night as the 2-2 is fouled back. Fighting off showers to see their Florence Ball Club. First place team in the West Division tied with these Otters. The 2-2 is taken out toward right. Going back toward the track is McNamee reaching up and running toward the wall. He makes the catch. 1 down on the deep fly ball to right. Nice AB by Crane. Certainly showing a little opposite field power. It's now Axel Johnson's turn. He's shown a little pop in this one. He homered, we mentioned earlier, in this half inning. Back in the first, then it was a fly ball to center that took Gordon to the track. Nobody aboard. 1 out. The line from Portela. First pitch, off speed. Might have gone with a changeup there, right around his knees, called a strike. Johnson, who played parts of 3 seasons in the American Association before coming over to the Frontier League. Little slider, backdoors it, fouls it off behind third. Portela jumps ahead of Johnson, 0-2. Johnson, the former Missouri Southern University product, played there for 2 seasons after attending Texas Christian University for his freshman and sophomore years of college. Here's the 0-2. And that 81-mile-per-hour pitch might have just frozen Axel Johnson, but Roger Folks didn't think it caught the strike zone, and on the appeal down to third base umpire Jeffrey Spisak, no swing. A Another 2-strike pitch on its way. The 1-2. Fastball off the plate. 2-2. Sun beginning to set, lighting the sky ablaze. Some clouds behind right field, turning golden yellow. The 2-2, little cue shot, foul of third. Manager Brian White of the Yalls in his first season, managing his Florence club. Picks it up, tosses to a fan. Now the 2-2 once more. Reaching out on an off-speed pitch, outer part of the plate. He fouls it up onto the grassy knoll, tucked behind the left field line. Portella looking for his second out of the fifth. His club leading 3-1, 2-2. Fastball up and away. So Johnson has worked it back from an 0-2 count to full. The wind, the 3-2. And that slider, they tried to backdoor it. It missed outside, so Johnson, the leadoff batter in the order, will be aboard at first with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Third walk issued by Portella. Luis Pintor, who has 2 of those 3 passes issued by Polo Portella, stands in. Runner aboard, one out. Pintor, mentioned earlier, throw over, as there's a flyby overhead. Back standing is Axel Johnson. Florence Yalls near the Cincinnati airport, just south of the Queen City along the Ohio River here in Kentucky. Pintor, the former 21st round draft pick back in 2016 of the Miami Marlins, as the slider's called a strike in the outside part of the plate. Told you that earlier. He was drafted, though, out of New Mexico Junior College. New Mexico Junior College product is Luis Pintor. New Mexico Junior College out of Hobbs, New Mexico. Another throw over, paying attention to Axel Johnson. He once again is back standing. I don't know if you had ever heard the same thing back when you were running the bases, maybe in high school, or if they would teach you this that early. Pony League, Little League, getting a good jump, or a good lead, I should say, is Johnson. 0-1 fouled off to the right. But there's an old adage in the game of baseball, no doubt you've heard it. If you can get back standing up next time they throw over, you better be getting back dirty. Basically telling you you want to extend your lead if you get back there standing up. Luis Pintor down on the count. 0-2 facing Portella. Another throw over. This time, he's taking the textbook advice over there at first. Axel Johnson on the throw over. Dives back safely and sneaks a hand in there. On the pickoff move from Portella. Takes an extra step off. The 0-2. Slider is hit well into the corner and left. That's going to fall for extra bases. Denton into the corner. I believe he is raising his hands to call for a ground rule double. As it bounces out of play behind the short wall that sits just to the left of the left field line. Otters catch a break there. They will have an opportunity maybe to strand that runner at third, as Pintor doubles. On base for the third time today, but no easy task. Stands ahead of Polo Portela. Runners at second and third, one out, facing Chad Setio is 1 for 2. The best hitter in the Frontier League entering play. First pitch fastball misses out, 1-0. First base is open, but bad idea to work around him. Trevor Crayport, cleanup batter, waits on deck. 13 home runs on the season for Crayport. Setio. Told you he was a Medina, Ohio native. Was drafted by the Detroit Tigers back in 2016. The 1-0 likewise misses. Out of the Miami University of Ohio. He was drafted back in the 27th round. Was Setio. Falling behind the number 3 batter, 2-0. He's able to pick up a strike on the off-speed pitch. Outer edge is Portela. Portela has gone up against these Yalls twice so far this season. His last time came in the doubleheader on July 1st, the 2-1. And that misses just off the edge, 89 on the fastball, 3-1. Popping the leather of the catcher, Justin Felix. In that ball game, Portela went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 earned on 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. The 3-1 to Setio. A little cue shot to third. The runner breaks for home. Cordero, the throw is good, and they tag out the runner trying to score from third in Axel Johnson. 5-2 goes the fielder's choice. Great play by Andretti Cordero at the hot corner. He fielded it cleanly, off to his right, and on the run, fired perfectly to Justin Felix, who was standing a foot in front of home and able to tag out Axel Johnson, who slid and never even touched home plate. Now runners on the corners with 2 out. Perhaps a little hesitation from Johnson as well. Of course, that turf might be a little slippery too, with the rain that delayed the game by about 43 minutes to start. Now it's Trevor Crayport. First pitch, slider. Flew out of the hand, misses up and away, 1-0. Crayport 0 for 2. But you know already how dangerous a hitter he is. The 1-0. Back to the slider, big rip from Crayport, comes up empty. Another thing you might be interested to wonder about is Axel Johnson, if he's able to hang behind Cordero. Ground ball to the left side. The only thing you got to worry about is Andy DeJesus. He's going to break toward third, but with no force play. That would be tough to think Cordero would spin around and go for third. Johnson could have crept about halfway down the line. The 1-1 fastball at the top of the zone called a strike. And then once Cordero on the run had tried to fire toward first, Johnson about halfway down the line could finish his break toward home, make it a play there from Crane, and that might have been his best play base running wise. But you never know, and it's always easy to Monday morning quarterback. Runners at the corners, 2 out. 1-2 from Portela. And it's slapped high, foul, out of play, right side behind first. That remains 1-2 on Crayport. Portela got the first out of the inning. A deep fly ball to right field, then a walk and a double. Put runners at second and third with 1 out. Trying to keep This inning scoreless. 1-2. Misses in. With a little help from his friends, third baseman Andretti Cordero making a fine defensive play to cut down the runner and Axel Johnson trying to score from third. Two on, two out, and a 2-2 count. And it's a slow roller to third. It will die as Andretti Cordero didn't have a play other than to see if it might roll foul at the tail end. It's an infield single for Trevor Crayport that scores Luis Pintor from third and makes it a one-run game in the bottom of the fifth. 3-2, now our score. Credit Crayport with a single and an RBI. Cedillo advances to second. Tough break for Portela, but you might want to consider the breaks even in the inning. 1-1 after the Pintor double. Left play, keeping Axel Johnson at third. So you could call it even. Now it's Harrison DeNicola, singled his last time. First pitch to him, fouled off at the plate, 0-1. Portela fighting his way third time through a very good Y'all's lineup. Talked about it earlier, the 2 through 5 batters all entering with averages over the 320 mark. Oh, 0-1. And the fastball is slapped the other way from the left-handed hitting Harrison DeNicola out of play. Florence Y'alls entered tied with the best team batting average in the Frontier League with the New Jersey Jackals. They had scored the most runs of any team in the Frontier League. And here's a liner toward the shortstop, Andy DeJesus, on the 0-2 pitch. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. One run comes home to score. Luis Pintor from third on an infield single by Trevor Crayport. It's a 3-2 ball game now. Y'alls cut the Otters lead down to 1. Top of the sixth on its way. Listen to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live. Hold on. YouTube Live. YouTube Live. Somebody write that down. We're heading to the top of the sixth. You listen to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. There we go. Now batting in the top of the sixth inning, the Otters right fielder Elijah McNamee. First pitch from Edgar Martinez is hit hard to third, bobbled by the third baseman Setio, but he recovers in time to fire on the first. One down in the top of the sixth. Edgar Martinez, he's really put together one heck of a ball game since that top of the first inning. He was ambushed, if you will, a little bit after getting the first two batters to fly out, then strike out. All of a sudden, Evansville put together some pesky two-out ABs. A couple singles from J.R. Davis and Riley Crane, then a walk issued to Elijah McNamee to load the bases. First pitch misses inside, getting Andretti Cordero to bend out of the batter's box, get away. And it was Andretti Cordero who hit a two-run single to give the Otters a 2-0 lead in that first inning, followed by an infield single that scored another by Andrew Penner. As the 1-0 is hit up the elevator shaft, but back and out of play. Now 1-1 on the Otters' third baseman, Cordero. It's a 3-2 ball game in the top of the sixth. Otters with the lead. Cordero, who bats now with a 1-1 count and one out in the inning. He made a great play at third to cut down the runner, Axel Johnson, trying to score from third with one out. After a 1-1 foul ball, now 1-2 to Cordero, and boy, he's got a lot of pop, even just trying to slap that one away. A defensive swing, if you could call it that, with how Cordero approaches things in the outside part of the plate. Able to put some good wood on it, slapping it out of play. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2 now. Cordero 1 for 2. Hard hit ground ball to second. His last time up. The 2-2. Breaking ball. Good take from Cordero. Count moves full. Interesting to see a guy with Cordero. It's a really aggressive hack he takes. And typically you wouldn't expect him to demonstrate with that aggressive hack. The 3-2 is taken out toward the gap in right center field. That will get to the wall on a hop. It'll be extra bases for Andretti Cordero. With one out, I was going to say that with that power hack that he takes, he just demonstrated it here. Prototypical power hitter might not display the kind of good knowledge of the strike zone that Cordero has demonstrated through his first now 7 games with the Otters. So it will be interesting to keep tabs on that. Here's Andrew Penner. He's 2 for 2. That infield RBI single back in the first. And then a liner to left. First pitch fastball misses out. 1-0. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. The 1-0 fastball catches the outside edge, 1-1. Cordero came into this one, 2 strikeouts through 21 ABs. 1-1, right back to that fastball. He's able to dot it once more outside part of the plate. Penner will now have to battle 1-2. So what would you call that? 60 strikeouts a year if he gets 600 at-bats at the big league level? For a comparison, as the 1-2 is fought off toward the right out of play. Imagine that. 60 strikeouts at the big league level through 600 at-bats. That would be almost unheard of in today's ball game. Martinez set at the belt, facing Penner. Another 1-2, up and in, right around his hands. Fastball missed in. Count now draws even at 2 apiece. Andrew Penner, he's got that show hair working. Long hair, finely groomed mustache. The 2-2, and he slashes it foul up toward the netting above the Otters dugout, and athletic trainer Sarah Zirk not able to make a perfect play on the over-the-shoulder backhand on the foul ball, trickling down the net. She's lucky she's not on Frontier League Live TV for that one. And you can tell her I said that. The 2-2. And that is slapped back to the netting. Penner, gritty, gutty ball player. You've heard it before, you'll hear it again. Andy McCauley picked out Penner as one of the ball players who had beaten him too many times not to have him on his team. Picked him up from the Washington Wild Things back in June, formerly of the River City Rascals in 2019. The 2-2 misses out. One heck of an AB he's already put together here. Count draws full. And it was that River City Rascals team that went on to win the Frontier League Championship in 2019 after bouncing the Evansville Otters in the opening round as the wild card team. Runner at second. Andretti Cordero, 3-2, one out to Andrew Penner, who draws the walk as the fastball misses up. Runners will be at first and second. Looks like it's the pitching coach now, Chad Rhodes, out of the dugout to talk with Martinez. Looks like a left-hander, maybe warming in the Y'all's bullpen. How about this? There we go. Was working to close a tab on the old Lenovo. As the meeting on the mound concludes, Bryce Denton will step to the plate. He's put together a couple of good at-bats, a hard hit ground ball to short, then a line drive out to the center fielder, Connor Crane. Otters looking to take a run right back. First pitch to Denton. Little slider misses out, 1-0. Y'all's cut the Otters lead down to 1 in the bottom of the fifth by scoring one of their own. Cordero off second, Penner off first. One out, the 1-0. And it's a line drive over the head of the second baseman, Harrison DeNicola, into right center. Cordero will head around third. He's headed home, and he will score. It's an RBI base hit for Bryce Denton that makes it a 4-2 game in the top of the sixth. Bryce Denton, he's feeling it at the plate right now. 3 good ABs, now 1 for 3. He finally gets something to show for it. All the hard work he's been putting in at the plate today. Penner advances to third. Justin Felix will stand in. They're going to throw over to third just to make sure that Cordero, while rounding third, had hit the bag. Yes, he did, said home plate umpire Roger Folks. Justin Felix is 0 for 2. Has a chance to erase that offer and pick up a ribby, perhaps. First pitch. Behind the 89-mile-per-hour fastball on the swing, 0-1. Otters hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak. Tied for the longest of the season so far. They lost only their 3rd series of the year, getting swept for the first time against the Boomers at home over the weekend. The 0-1, maybe a little cutter at 85 from Martinez. Cut on and missed by Felix. Able to extend their lead back to 2. And looking for more. The 0-2, that is off the backhand of the catcher, Trevor Crayport. And advancing into second is Bryce Denton. Penner holds at third. On the wild pitch. Now 2 men in scoring position for Felix. Two clubs in a first place tie. Now keeping a lookout on the Southern Illinois Miners, who have come back a little bit into contention. They're 3.5 games out. The 1-2. Another breaking ball. This one misses again. Low and outside. Infield has come in. We will mention now a 2-2 count. Felix, all he's looking to do is just put that ball in play. He's not too worried about that infield drawn in. Should he hit a ground ball? No worries. More importantly, with 2 strikes, put the ball in play. The 2-2. He strikes out on the 90-mile-per-hour fastball. That was on the upper inside part of the plate. He is now 0 for 3. But looking to pick him up will be Miles Gordon. He will have to face a new pitcher, the lefty, most likely, Brian White. On out of the Y'all's dugout, he will take the baseball from Edgar Martinez, who made it through 2 outs in the 6th. He tosses a prayer skyward, and he exits with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Otters lead by 2, 4-2 the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Make that YouTube Live. First pitch to Miles Gordon. 87 miles per hour from the left-hander Carl Craigie, misses low and away. He replaces Edgar Martinez, top of the 6th inning. 4-2 the score with 2 out. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball to DeNicola at first. Charges in, couple of steps, goes on to first. And Carl Craigie does his job, getting Miles Gordon to ground out to 2nd to end the inning. Otters able to scratch another across. Bryce Denton, an RBI base hit over the head of the second baseman Harrison DeNicola into right center. Puts the Otters back up 2. Score is 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Otters with the lead. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Bottom of the sixth inning, Otters lead by 2. 4-2 the score here at Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. Joe Lytle stands in against Polo Portella. First pitch misses in with the slider. 1-0 now on the Y'all's first baseman, Lytle. Lytle is 0 for 2, lined out to center. He also hit a little bouncer in front of home plate. 2-3 went a ground ball. Line drive ripped just over the glove. The leaping second baseman, Andrew Penner, into right. That's a leadoff base hit for Joe Lytle. No cheapie there. He hit that one on the screws. 1-0 count. It brings up Jordan Brower. 0 for 2. Lytle, Brower, and Tenney were all scheduled to bat to start the inning. 6, 7, and 8. Brower wears a red and white striped jersey top. That is a promotion here at the ballpark. Fans can, I believe, enter in for a chance to win it, or at least purchase it off the back of one of their favorite players. The 1-0. That's popped up foul behind third, out of play. 0-1 the count on Jordan Brower, a left-handed hitting designated hitter. Portella looking to make it through 6, so he hopes. There is a right-hander warming in the Otters bullpen. The 0-1, looks like he went to the curve. It was fouled off toward the Y'all's dugout behind third. For Portella, it would be his 6th consecutive appearance of 6 innings or more. Going back to June 15th at home against the Gateway Grizzlies. Out of Brower 0-2. Before heading home, he heads towards first. Lytle dives back safely. Ryan Brown with you from Firenze, Kentucky. Just south of the Ohio River. Otters paddled their way up here during the off day. Another throw over to first. Once again, Lytle back safely. The 0-2 off speed misses just off the plate here. It's now 1-2. Roster transaction to tell you about. Josh Henderson, outfielder for the Otters, recently let go today. In his stead, Jose Pujols, brother of Otters infielder and third baseman Christopher Pujols, signed and picked up. 1-2, foul ball behind third. That's going to be out of play. Bounces onto the main concourse. Otters will possibly be seeing a good bit of shakeup to this roster following the first-year player draft, Major League Baseball, that concluded today. 1-2, left center, and it was a high pop that neither outfielder took charge of as Andy DeJesus raced back towards center. I don't know if Denton nor Gordon had a read on it, but DeJesus kept going back and back and back, and in shallow left center, tried to make an over-the-shoulder play. It's going to go as a base hit for Jordan Brower. On the blooper that puts runners at first and second with nobody out. Now Rodney Tenney will stand in. First pitch to Tenney. Shows bunt, pulls back. This is outside. Once again, right now it is twilight here in Florence. The sky a dark blue. Those lights really just taking effect. You don't have that perfect all black background to pick up the white baseball with some white clouds and overcast overhead. So very possible those outfielders lost it in the sky. 1-0, a hard bunt, foul of third. Andretti Cordero was there. Pick it up in foul territory. Now 1-1 the count on the Y'all's right fielder, Tenney. Otters have such a good defensive outfield, perhaps one of the best in the Frontier League. No errors yet committed by them. Of course, that usually is picked up by an outfielder via throwing error, but nonetheless, I think another stat that might demonstrate how good this outfield has been the doubles category. The 1-1, again showing bunt, this one out in front of the plate. Polo Portela off the mound to get it. By the time he throws to first, not in time. Justin Felix had signaled for Portela to get the baseball. Tough to know who would have had an easier play. Felix would have had to come out in front of home, though it might have been just closer to home plate. He still would have had to spin about 180 degrees or 90, how you like it, and toss on to first. Portela coming off the mound has to look 90 degrees to his left and fire on to first. Either way, works up to be an infield single on the bunt by Rodney Tenney, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Let's see how Portela works through this situation. Connor Crane bats now. First pitch to him. They go with the slider. It misses up and in. 1-0. Crane, he's 0 for 2. He flew out to the warning track in right his last time up. Hard hit single began the inning by Joe Lytle over the head of the second baseman Andrew Penner. Then it was a blooper for Jordan Brower, and then the bunt single for Rodney Tenney. The 1-0, and that's slashed foul to the netting. 1-1. 88 on the fastball from Portela. Tell you what, Portela's body language out there, you can tell he wants to be out there. He is stabbing at that baseball when it's fired back from Felix. He wants to attack here and pick up an out or two for his club. The Otters lead by 2. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. The 1-1. Slider gets Crane to swing through it. 1-2. Portela looking to pick up his third strikeout. It would come at the perfect time. Lytle off third, Brower off second, and Tenney off of first, facing Polo Portela. The 1-2 with nobody out. Go back to the slider, able to get a piece of it is Crane. He fouls it away, 1-2. Connor Crane came in with a .214 batting average, 23 strikeouts in his first 70 ABs. The 1-2. And there's a called third strike. It's a strikeout of Crane with the bases loaded and one out. Portela picks up his third K. And Roger Folks exchanging some words with the Y'all's center fielder, Crane. Portela dropped a couple miles per hour off that pitch so he could dot it on the inside. And right now, Max Peterson coming on out of the Otters dugout to take the ball from Portela, who will end his appearance on that high note, picking up a big out number one. They will turn to one of their most reliable arms out of the bullpen, Tyler Spring, in a pressure cooker situation. Bases loaded, one out. Otters lead by a couple. 4-2 will step aside on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Tyler Spring on out of the Otters dugout. Bases loaded, one out. He faces the top of the order in Axel Johnson, who's already homered in this one. Otters lead by 2. Spring out of the bullpen being caught by Justin Felix. That right now is your pitcher, catcher, battery of the ball game. The Answer Auto Repair East sponsoring the pitcher, catcher, battery. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Tyler Spring relieving Polo Portela enters with a 2-0 record, 145 the earned run average. This his 18th game of the season. 26 Ks through just under 25 innings of work. He's set at the belt. The first pitch is a called strike. 87 on the gun. Outside part of the plate, right around the letters. 0-1, Axel Johnson. He is 1-for-3 with a walk. Homered to lead off the Y'all's half of the first. It's a 4-2 ball game now. Spring had began the season with a 14 scoreless appearance streak. They took something off there and they get a strike once again on the outside edge, 77. Now Johnson in the hole, 0-2, facing the Wiggins, Mississippi native. and former Southern Mississippi product, Tyler Spring. Bases loaded, 1 out. Spring set, the 0-2. Ground ball to the second baseman, Penner. Oh, it's a bobble. What could have been a 4-6-3 double play will go as an E4 that scores Lytle from third. It is now a 4-3 game in the bottom of the 6th. It was hard hit. By no means an easy play. Not what you would call a routine DP. But Andrew Penner, I'm sure, would love to have a second opportunity here to make it up to his pitcher, Tyler Spring. Now it's Luis Pintor. He's been on base 3 times, a double and 2 walks. Doubled his last time up. First pitch slider, misses outside, 1-0. Important moment here to test the mettle of a ball club. You've got a tough break, a play that didn't go your way. 1-0. They go back to that breaking ball, and they have Luis Pintor spinning like a corkscrew, swinging through it in the right-handed batter's box. Question is, you've made a mistake. What happens now? Can Tyler Spring pick up Andrew Penner? Can another infielder with a ground ball pick up both Spring and Penner and Portella, by the way, who still has a couple base runners aboard at second and third of his own to worry about? Keep the lead intact. The 1-1. Another big breaking ball from Spring. Some nice lateral movement, and Pintor swings through it once more, 1-2. Brower off third, Tenney off second, and Johnson now off first. Here comes the 1-2 from Spring. And it's hit well, but foul of left. (4-3) the score, the tying run 90 feet from home. Bottom of the 6th inning. Spring went with the breaking ball. Good chance, though, he wanted it to miss a little more off the plate than that. He gets a break. Pintor ahead of it. They'll do the 1-2 once more. Time called, though, first. Pintor, big moment for the Alls. He takes a practice hack. He's back in the right-handed batter's box to face the tall right-hander at 6'6", Tyler Spring. Pintor has his sign. Make that Spring facing Pintor. The 1-2. And the 86-mile-per-hour pitch misses below the knees and outside, 2-2. Two now. Again, off speed. This misses up and away. And now the count is full on the all shortstop Pintor. Entered with a batting average at .321. Hit a ground rule double as last time. The Otters have yet to get him out. Bases loaded, 1 out, the 3-2. And it misses outside for ball 4. It's an RBI for Pintor, and the game is tied at 4 in the bottom of the 6th. Brower scoring from third, Tenney now to third. Johnson to second, and Pintor drawing the bases loaded walk. Picks up the RBI. It's now Chad Setio 1 for 3. Bases still loaded, still only 1 out. First pitch. Outside with the fastball, 1-0. Cedillo reached first his last time on the fielder's choice to third. Cut down right at the plate. The 1-0, and there's a little trouble as Felix didn't have a clean read, but because of it, he went looking around behind home. He recovers as Tenney is tagged out trying to break for home on what could have been a wild pitch. And there is a huge break for the Otters as there are now 2 out with runners at second and third. The pitch missed low. It got cut up around Felix's feet. It was in the right-handed batter's box. He turned around, looked behind him first, didn't see it. Nice communication, whether from Spring or the Otters dugout, to tell him where to pick it up. And tumbling over Felix was Rodney Tenney, trying to score from third, and then the tag made without him making contact with home plate. Right behind home. First pitch following what'll go as a caught stealing to unassisted is a called strike. Now 2-1 on Cedillo. Game still tied 4-4. The 2-1. And there's a much-needed fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes facing the leading hitter in the Frontier League, Chad Cedillo. Some storm clouds gathered behind right field. You can see the lightning flicker in the distance. Otters trying to lead this inning. The game tied. 4-4, taken out toward left. Brenton toward the track. He's going to have a read, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. The Otters able to strand a couple, and the game will be tied heading into the latter third. Florence Yalls pick up a couple on an error and a bases-loaded walk. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live as the Otters look to take that lead right back. Top of the 7th, Andy DeJesus will bat from the right side of the plate. He faces one Mr. Carl Craigie. First pitch, 86 miles per hour. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate. low outside edge to Jesus. 0 for 3, couple fly balls to center. Hard hit as they were. And here's a ground ball comebacker to Craigie. Tosses underhand to first. 2 pitches, 1 out for Craigie. He was able to get 2 pitches and 1 out to end the Otters' threat in the 6th. When he first came on in relief of Edgar Martinez. Now 1 down on the top of the 7th. Ryan Brown with you from Y'all's Ballpark in Florence, Kentucky. It's a tie ball game, 4 runs apiece. J.R. Davis will stand in. He's 1 for 2. Walked his last time up. 2 runs scoring for the Y'alls in the bottom of the 6th. Only 1 of them earned. First pitch off speed from Craigie. That's in there for a strike. 0-1. Craigie, the 6'1 left-hander from Austin, Texas. As the 0-1, they went back to that 78-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch. Don't know if you'd call it a change or a curveball. Has about the same vertical motion as a change with some good downward bite. The 1-1 fouled up and over. Back probably out of the ballpark. Now 1-2. Craigie facing J.R. Davis. As the 1-2 able to foul it off. In and out of the catcher Crayport's mitt. Staying alive is Davis, 1-2. The Vallejo, California native, just outside Oakland. Davis active in MLB's Player Alliance. The 1-2. And there's a strikeout, but the ball gets away from Crayport. And Crayport will have no play as J.R. Davis reaches first on the strikeout and wild pitch. Riley Crane will have a chance to bat with Davis aboard. Runner at first. 1 out. Crane singled back in the first. Struck out his last time, but hit a long fly ball just foul of the right field foul pole. First pitch up and in, 1-0. Crane lefty on lefty matchup as he faces Carl Craigie. Crane has 7 home runs this season, none yet against lefties though. 1-0, foul to the top of the netting, left side, 1-1. Edgar Martinez went 5 2/3 for the Y'alls, 8 hits. He was able to scatter mostly. 1-1, Crane shows bunt, pulls back on the breaking ball. That missed low and away. 4 runs all charged to Martinez, each earned. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts for him. But he has since spat the hook. No pitcher record in the tie ball game. 2-1 is a called strike. Inner third. 2-2 now on Crane. It's officially a bullpen game. Craigie set the 2-2, and there's a breaking ball that misses low and bounces up and over the head of Trevor Crayport to the backstop. Advancing to second is J.R. Davis. Roger Folks pointed somewhere toward the pitcher, Carl Craigie. And a brief moment of thought might have suggested that he was calling Crane out on the check swing, but no, sir, he will still bat. Now the count is full. The runner in scoring position and 1 out. Craigie will step off the rubber. Now he's back on. He leans in with the baseball behind his back, comes set at the belt. The 3-2 bounces in the dirt for ball 4, and it gets away from Crayport. Throw down to third. J.R. Davis slides in safely, able to hug the bag as he overslides it. And just hangs on for dear life, but he's 90 feet from home with one out. The adventures of J.R. Davis on the base paths. Good read on that one. There are now runners at the corners with one down for Elijah Big Hit McNamee. Lefty on righty matchup once more. McNamee 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch, ooh, right on that. Fouls it straight back, 89 miles per hour from Craigie. Once again, these storm clouds rolling in over right field. Back in the distance, but a little lightning show is threatening. Score tied at 4. The 0-1 is hit out toward right. It's a little looper. It will fall in front of Tenney for a base hit that gives the Otters the lead in the top of the 7th. Big Hit McNamee. RBI base hit makes it a 5-4 game. Hit it right in front of the right fielder, Rodney Tenney. As Davis scores from third. Otters take that lead right back. Now it's Andredi Cordero. Gave the Otters their first lead of the ball game with a 2-run single with 2 out in the first. First pitch swinging is Cordero. Fouls it against the netting above the Otters dugout behind first. 0-1. Cordero also doubled his last time up. He's 2 for 3. 0-1 gives it another big rip. Fastball got up into his kitchen. He fouls it off though, 0-2. Three wild pitches in the inning. And the base hit for Elijah McNamee. Have the Otters with a run up. 0-2 off speed. Gets Cordero to swing through it for the second out of the inning. Now it's Andrew Penner's turn. He's 2 for 2. Walked his last time. He's been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. Runners at first and second. Decent enough sized hole on the right side. First baseman obviously not holding McNamee on at first, but second baseman Harrison DeNicola still shading somewhat toward the bag. The runner Crane at second. The 0-1. And he fouls that up onto the second level here at Y'all's Ballpark. Back to the right. Penner now deep in the hole, 0-2. Craigie set. Here comes that 0-2, and foul tip into the catcher Crayport's mitt. But the Otters pick up a run thanks to the Elijah McNamee RBI single out to right field. Stretch time coming up here in Florence. Otters lead it again, 5-4. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Bottom of the 7th, Otters able to regain the lead. In the top half of this inning, thanks to Elijah McNamee's base hit to right. Scoring J.R. Davis from third. 5-4 the score. Otters with the lead, facing their West Division rivals, the Florence Yalls. Trevor Crayport stands in. First pitch swinging on the slider from Tyler Spring. 0-1. Both clubs entered with records of 26 and 15. First place tie in the West Division. 0-1, they go back to the breaking ball. It misses out. 1-1. Trevor Crayport, the former 11th round pick of the Baltimore Orioles back in 2017, faces Tyler Spring. Otters coming off a bit of a rough homestand. The 1-1 misses out. 2-1 now. They ended up dropping 4 of 6. They took 2 of 3 from the Joliet Slammers before being swept by the Schaumburg Boomers. Some highlights, though, as Andy McCauley, Otters skipper, was able to pick up his 500th Otters win as the 2-1 misses behind the head of the batter Trevor Crayport. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Breaking ball just came out of the hand a little early. McCauley picking up his 500th win in a walk-off victory Thursday night against the Slammers. The 3-1 misses low and inside, and Trevor Crayport works a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 7th. Now it's Harrison DeNicola's turn. He's 1 for 3. He lined out to the shortstop, Andy DeJesus. And a soft liner his last time. Left-handed batter DeNicola faces Spring with 1 aboard. And nobody out, and I think somebody just got tossed. I think Roger Folks just gave the hook. Max Peterson is on out of the Otters dugout, and he is right in Folks' face in front of home plate. And if Folks just pulled the string and yanked one of these Otters coaches, this is getting spectacular. Peterson now has been thrown out of this ball game. Now it's the second base umpire, I believe that's Corey Lyle, who makes Roger Folks step toward third, basically telling him, get yourself out of the way of any more controversy. You've had enough. Max Peterson will walk down the first base line alongside Corey Lyle. That conversation is much more civil. And how about Roger Folks finally got the one Otters pitching, hitting, and manager coach he needed to throw out of a ball game yet this season since last Friday night. Why don't you make it 3 of a kind? Congratulations, take it down to the casino. See how far it gets you. Runner at first with nobody out. Folks was embroiled in controversy Friday night. He yanked hitting coach Bobby Siegel from the ball game for arguing balls and strikes then after failing to grant an appeal in the top of the 9th, refusing to. He threw out Andy McCauley, and in that same ejection, as he came back around toward home plate, he re-instigated the drama with Otters catcher in that one, Dakota Phillips. Things had settled, and when Folks had gone to clean home plate at Bosse Field, right in front of Dakota Phillips, in front of the entire home crowd, as the first pitch now to Harrison DeNicola following the ejection is fouled back. He pointed right at Dakota Phillips and went right into his face. Carrying on the argument, carrying on what some might call a tantrum. I wouldn't call it that. The 0-1, a ground ball to the shortstop to Jesus. Underhand toss to Penner. Over to first, not in time to get 2. 6-4 fielder's choice as Crayport overslides the bag. De Jesus there to pick him up, though. Now 1 down. No doubt the replay of that one will be submitted to the league. And you wonder, as Folks has had trouble with both clubs in different contests, there was a ball game in the opening homestand for the Otters against Équipe Québec. First pitch to Joe Lytle is taken into right field for a base hit. It'll put runners at first and second with one out. Continue the story where Folks tossed the manager of Équipe Québec from the ball game in that one. So it is not the first time Folks has found himself embroiled in off-the-field theatrics. Once again, not to beat a dead horse, excuse me. But the only other thing worth noting is it is very rare that you would see, going back to Friday, because we didn't harp on it after, but now it's become relevant again. Line drive, short of Bryce Denton. A strong throw to second, though, will almost beat Harrison DeNicola. Bases will be loaded with one out. Did not want to bring it up again. However, the point has been made relevant once more. About that Dakota Phillips little interlude exchange between Phillips and Roger Folks, the home plate umpire back on Friday night in Evansville. It was Max Peterson who had to fly out of the dugout to get between Phillips and Folks. Rare, if ever, I think you would agree with me that you would see an umpire in professional baseball reignite a debate with a player. First pitch now to Rodney Tenney is bunted and popped up back to the netting. 0-1. And that's all I got to say about that. Bases are loaded, one out, Rodney Tenney. He bats with Crayport at third, Lytle at second, and Brower at first. 0-1 from Spring. And that misses out, 1-1. Tried to backdoor the breaking ball there. Tenney 2 for 3. Had a bunt single his last time up. He's also flown out to center. Outfield playing fairly shallow against Tenney. 1-1. There's a fastball for a strike inside part of the plate, 1-2. Tenney, the left-handed batter, stands at 5'7", 175 pounds. 26 years old, out of Noonan, Georgia. Otters want to make sure if there's a fly ball to shallow left, center, or right, as time is called at the plate, they've got a chance at home. They've still got a one-run lead here in the bottom of the seventh. Bases are loaded, however, with one out. Spring ahead of the count, looking for the K. The 1-2. And that missed just above the letters perhaps. Now 2-2. After the fastball missed high, here comes the 2-2. And it's taken out towards center field. Back a few steps is Gordon. He'll set himself for a throw, probably to third. Meanwhile, the tying run will come in to score. Crayport from third. It's a successful sacrifice fly that ties the game at 5 in the bottom of the seventh. Meanwhile, The Otters pick up a big out number 2. And a great decision there by Miles Gordon. I want to point that out, where I'm sure many outfielders would allow the moment to catch up with them and try to throw out Crayport from third, the catcher. He did much wiser play, making sure that whoever comes on now in relief of Tyler Spring will be able to use his full arsenal with runners at first and second. Looks like Taylor Wright. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out, runners at first and second. New right-hander to tell you about for the Otters, it is Taylor Wright. When we return on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
The Evansville Otters battling 10 men tonight in Florence. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Connor Crane stands in to face Taylor Wright in relief of Tyler Spring. Tie ball game, 5 runs apiece for both sides. Last play, sacrifice fly by Rodney Tenney. Out to center field. That tied the ball game. Now Connor Crane, who's 0 for 3, faces Taylor Wright. First pitch breaking ball misses low. Perhaps a touch inside as well. 1-0. Taylor Wright, 2019's reigning Rookie of the Year. The 1-0, couple of stutter steps off second and first, and it's a high fly ball to right. Underneath it is McNamee. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. 2 pitches, 1 out for Taylor Wright, but Roger Folks, he's at it again. Max Peterson thrown out of the ball game as we head to the top of the 8th. Score tied at 5. This is the Wild and Wacky West, apparently. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Top of the 8th, tied ball game. Who would expect any less from the two teams who entered tonight's game tied for first place in the West Division, 26 and 15 records each. On the mound now to pitch in relief of Carl Craigie is Sean Hughes to begin the 8th. He faces Bryce Denton, Justin Felix, and Miles Gordon. First pitch, 92 miles per hour, misses low and away. Sean Hughes, probably the best reliever these Florence Yalls have been able to turn to of late. Through just 7 games, 9 1/3 innings of work, only 2 runs allowed on 10 hits. Ground ball, right side, second baseman DeNicola to his right, over to first, 1 out. Finish reading the line on Sean Hughes entering play. 14 strikeouts to 5 walks. 10 hits. Only extra base hits allowed. 4 doubles. Now it's Justin Felix to bat. He's 0 for 3. Bunch of runs here in the last couple of innings. 5 runs total having scored between both teams in innings 6 and 7. First pitch fastball, 94. Can't blame Felix for not being able to catch up to that one on the swing. 0-1. Yalls tying it up in back-to-back innings. They scored 2 to tie it in the 6th. And then after the Otters scored 1 on the top of the 7th, they scratched across another to make it a 5-5 game. As the 0-1 is a called strike. Somewhere between knees and belt. Middle part of the plate. 94 again on the fastball. Looking to strike out Felix. The 0-2. Up and in. Almost gets a piece of Felix somewhere along those batting gloves. He's able to get the knuckles out of the way, though. It's 1-2. And in that bottom half of the 7th, Roger Folks, shockingly, finding a way to throw out Max Peterson. 1-2. Misses high and away. Little editorializing there. I'll leave it for you to decide whether or not that shockingly was sarcastic. It's 2-2 the count on Justin Felix. Either way, though. Steady diet of heaters from Sean Hughes. The 2-2. And able to put a little wood on it, fouling it off to the right, out of play, is Justin Felix, who stays alive. Sean Hughes, the 6'1" right-hander out of Williamsburg, Virginia. 23 years old. Two-two, misses low and away. credit Felix. He's been able to fight and work the count back full against the hard-throwing right-hander Sean Hughes. Hughes in his second year with Florence. The 3-2 misses high above the letters, and Justin Felix works the one-out walk. Pesky AB there from the Otters catcher. He's aboard. The go-ahead run in the top of the 8th with one out as the lineup turns over. Miles Gordon is 1 for 4. He bats with a big hole on the right side. Third baseman Chad Setio playing about even with the bag. The first pitch misses low and in. And now Roger Folks hearing it from the home fans. Have a day, Blue. The 1-0. There's a called strike at the knees. 1-1. The Otters, they're playing in their 42nd game of the season, as the 1-1 is a called strike inside part of the plate. Gordon now behind 1-2. Gordon starting his 41st game in center field. He's had one game off, and what a center field he plays. The 1-2. And he waves and misses at the 94-mile-per-hour fastball right at the letters. No chance but to offer at it. Just hard to catch up. Now there are two gone for Andy DeJesus. Who will get to turn it around once more. He faced the left-hander Carl Craigie his last time up in the 7th. He will bat from the left side of the plate against the right-hander Hughes now with a runner aboard and two out in the top of inning number 8. First pitch swing is to Jesus. Fouls it back to the netting, 0-1. The 0-1 from DeJesus. Swing and a miss there. The fastball up in the zone, 0-2. If the game is still tied, you'll often see clubs go to their closer when they're at home in the 9th, but I don't know. What Hughes is showing with that good fastball, might just want to ride the hot hand. With two out, the 0-2. Able to put some wood on it, fouling it off to the left. Over toward the light standard behind first is Andy DeJesus. Count remains 0-2. Hughes, formerly of Boston College, spent 4 years there as a collegiate arm. Pitched in 54 games as a reliever, the 0-2. That misses high. Good take by DeJesus. 1-2. One-two, and the fastball. You can only battle for so long. Cut on and missed right around 3. Picking up a couple of Ks is Sean Hughes working around a one-out walk. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Score still tied at 5. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Looking to buy a new home? We've got a sweet deal for you. Get a home sweet home mortgage loan from Heritage Federal Credit Union and get a great low rate, plus get $500 cash back. That's right. Get a great low rate on your mortgage loan and get $500 cash back. Apply at Heritage Federal Credit Union, where the mortgage loans are sweet and the service can't be beat. Get your $500 cash back today at your local HFCU branch or apply online at hfcu.info/mortgages.
Taylor Wright on in the bottom of the 8th inning. Score tied at 5. He faces the top of the order at Axel Johnson, Luis Pintor, and Chad Setio. He used 2 pitches to get the last out of the 7th in the form of Connor Crane with runners at first and second. He was able to leave them stranded and keep this game tied at 5. Axel Johnson reached on an error his last time up. He is 1 for 4 with a home run and a walk. First pitch from Wright. Up and away, 79 miles per hour on the off-speed pitch. 1-0. Otters looking to keep this ball game tied heading into the 9th inning. It's proven to be a knockdown, drag-out kind of a ball game. The 1-0. Again, back to the off-speed. That misses high and away, as did the first. 2-0. I want to remind you that you can stay up to date with the latest news and promotions from the Evansville Otters by visiting evansvilleotters.com and subscribing to the Otters e-newsletter by clicking Join Our E-News. There's the 2 O's in there, the inside part of the plate at 84 for a strike. And you can find that link on the evansvilleotters.com homepage. Also, don't forget to follow the Otters on Twitter at EvilleOtters, on Instagram at Evansville Otters, and like the Evansville Otters on Facebook. The 2-1. Cut on and missed. 2-2. Make sure you use the team hashtag #UOtterBeHere. And when you're tuning in on YouTube, as you are now, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube page. Don't miss any updates on road audio casts and also interviews posted on Otters TV with your favorite ball players. Right set, the 2-2. And it's ripped through the right side of the infield past the diving second baseman Andrew Penner to his left. It's a leadoff base hit for Axel Johnson. Can't hit him much harder than that. It brings up Luis Pintor. He walked with the bases loaded against Tyler Spring. That tied the ball game in the bottom of the 6th. The Otters have yet to get him out. 1 for 1 with 3 free passes. First pitch showing bunt, bunts it foul of first. 0-1. You can understand that decision. Tie ball game, late innings. Luis Pintor batting ahead of the number 3 batter, Chad Setio, again, who entered tonight's game as the leading hitter in the Frontier League. Taylor Wright, the Berwyn, Pennsylvania native, who joined the Otters for his first stint in pro ball in 2019 before getting picked up by the Somerset Patriots. In the Atlantic League, the 0-1, this time it missed low. Pintor showed bunt once more, but he was able to pull back and take a ball, 1-1. Last year, Wright was a Frontier League All-Star. Tonight, of course, Major League Baseball's All-Star game in Denver. The runner goes, a bunt attempt, and they luck out on the daring bunt attempt with a runner in motion. It's a successful sacrifice as Wright comes off the mound to field it. Toss underhand to first. 1-3 goes the sac bunt. And now the go-ahead run in scoring position here in the bottom of the 8th. With just one out, 2 chances to drive home Axel Johnson from second. Setio 1 for 4. He flew out to left his last time. Wright set at the letters. First pitch. And a breaking ball gets past the glove of the catcher, Justin Felix. Imagine that will be scored a pass ball. That will allow the go-ahead run to advance 90 feet from home. The infield comes in facing Setio. With a 1-0 count, the pitch. That bounces in the dirt, this time able to be corralled by Felix. 2-0. Two-0 fastball in there for a strike at the knees, 2-1. Johnson off third. He reached on a hard hit single. Advanced to second on the sacrifice, then third by the pass ball. Looming large right now, the 2-1. Fouled to the netting. Good job by Wright to battle back into the count, now 2-2. Y'all's looking for their first lead of the ball game. Here when it matters most, bottom of the 8th. Wright shakes off Felix once, gets his sign he likes at the letters. The 2-2. And the 83-mile-per-hour off speed gets him swinging for the second out. A big strikeout from Taylor Wright. Now it brings up Trevor Crayport. He's 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 5th. Walked his last time up. That led off the bottom of the 7th. Go ahead run at third, now 2 out. You do have a couple bases to work with. Harrison DeNicola waits on deck. First pitch, fastball, 87, misses off the edge, 1-0. Perhaps the biggest at bat of the ball game to this point. The 1-0. And the 87-mile-per-hour fastball is foul tipped into the catcher Felix's glove. 1-1. Wright looking to pick up his catcher. After the pass ball, he's done just that by striking out Setio. One out away from getting out of this mess. The 1-1. That's foul to the netting. Looks like they went with the slider there at 81. Go ahead, run at third. 2 out. The 1-2 to Crayport. And he skies it foul to the right side, out of play. Crayport came into this one second in the league in homers and RBIs. He's picked up a ribby already tonight. He now has 44 on the season. In the bottom of the 8th, Wright looking to leave that is, that go-ahead run just 90 feet away. The 1-2 with 2 out, and it's off Felix. Luckily for him, it takes a fortunate bounce off to the left, and Wright was racing toward home to cover. Felix, he's been getting banged up behind home tonight. No question. Another 2-strike pitch facing Crayport, the cleanup batter. 5-5 the score, bottom of the 8th. With 2 out, the 2-2. And it's popped up. That's going to get out of play as Felix and Crane, the first baseman, have a look. Bounces about 6 rows back. Crayport putting up one heck of a battle. And no surprise, longer the batter is able to hang in there, better his chances. Runner at third, 2 out, the 2-2 once more. And again, he fouls it off to the right, out of play. Crayport continues to spoil 2-strike pitch from Taylor Wright after 2-strike pitch. The 2-2 fouled off Crayport at the dish. A major battle here between the Otters setup man Wright and the Y'all's cleanup batter Trevor Crayport. Bottom of the 8th. You know the deal. Go ahead run just 90 feet away with 2 out, the 2-2 count. Now the 10th pitch of the AB coming up. The 2-2, it's a grounder toward third. High chopper, Cordero has to wait. Strong throw to first, and they get him by half a step. Taylor Wright must have been the right place at the right time. He's able to leave the leadoff batter, Axel Johnson, stranded at third following the base hit, the sacrifice bunt, and the pass ball. He sends the Otters to the top of the 9th in a tie game, 5 apiece. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Top of the 9th inning. First pitch misses inside to J.R. Davis. Sean Hughes out for a second inning of work. Davis, Crane, and Elijah McNamee batting on the top of the 9th inning. A tie game, 5 apiece. The 1-0 is a called strike at the knees, 1-1. Davis scored a go-ahead run. In the top of the 7th inning, he reached on a strikeout wild pitch. Came around to score as the 1-1 is skied to the right out of play. 1-2. 1 for 3, couple of runs scored tonight. Line drive and a walk. It was a good inning of work for Sean Hughes in the 8th. As the 1-2. Breaking ball is cut on and missed for the first out of the inning. That is the 3rd strikeout for Hughes, who struck out a couple batters while working out around a 1-out walk issued to Justin Felix. Now Riley Crane stands in. Crane walked his last time. Otherwise, 1 for 3. First pitch, fouled off to the left, out of play. Hughes, he's been impressive through the first 5 batters he's faced. Out of the All's bullpen, the 0-1. That misses high, 1-1. You can see why they saved him for the later innings. Right-hander warming in the Otters bullpen. The 1-1, up and over. Otters, if they're not able to score a run in this top of the 9th, they will be looking to send it to international tiebreaker rules, the 10th. They would have to keep the Y'alls scoreless in the bottom half of the 9th to do that. They can't push a run across here. 1-2 to Crane. Ball, a little slider. Stays outside. 2-2 now on Crane. Crane, he's got a former teammate of his out in left field in Axel Johnson. The 2-2 is fouled up and over the netting. In Windy City for the Thunderbolts back in 2018. Johnson He has put his mark on this ball game already. And a home run to lead off the ball game. Maybe Crane can match his former teammate here. The 2-2. And a wave and a miss. They pull the string on Crane and they get the strikeout for the second out. Now 4 back-to-back Ks for Sean Hughes, who is dominating in this relief appearance. Elijah McNamee singled, brought home a run. Gave the Otters a 5-4 lead in the top of the 7th. First pitch misses upstairs, 1-0 at 93. McNamee otherwise walked and scored a run back in the first. The 1-0. And that misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. McNamee, the Cypress, Texas native, facing Sean Hughes of Williamsburg, Virginia. (2-0). That missed high. 3 balls and no strikes now on McNamee. The 3-0 swing away is McNamee. Fastball outside part of the plate. Swings through it, 3-1. Two out, the 3-1 to McNamee. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Count moves full on McNamee, who over the weekend, last couple days, saw plenty of Mississippi State Bulldogs selected in the first-year player draft. (3-2) with 2 out, misses high for ball 4. It's a 2-out walk to Elijah McNamee. In the top of the 9th, the go-ahead run will be on base for the Otters. News coming just today that his former teammate and former roommate, Rowdy Jordan, was selected in the later rounds of the first-year player draft by the New York Mets. First pitch now to Andretti Cordero. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate. 322nd pick overall. And selected after him was pitcher Hunter Staley, University of Southern Mississippi. The 0-1 missed out to Cordero. (1-1), 94 miles per hour at the fastball. It's fouled off at the plate. Now 1-2. Another Mississippi State pick that went in the first round, 14th overall. The right-handed standout pitcher, Will Bednarz. The 1-2 breaking ball. Cordero hangs in, stays alive. Nice piece of hitting by him. Count remains 1-2. He was picked up by the San Francisco Giants. A draft-eligible sophomore who picked up the MVP of the College World Series. The 1-2. They went back to that slider. It missed high above the zone. 2-2. Go ahead, run it first. 2 out, the 2-2 to Cordero. And it runs in and gets a piece of him on the left hand, maybe wrist, hopefully forearm. And he trots all the way up the third base line. By coincidence, that is where skipper Andy McCauley was, so he will meet with Cordero, now trainer Athletic Zerk, on to have a look. He extends his left hand, and I believe he points toward just above that left wrist. Hopefully it caught the forearm. Hughes throws hard, you know that, low 90s. And right now, Sarah Zerk going through some routine motions, testing out that arm. And Cordero will at least be staying in the ballgame to run the bases. He takes off his ankle guard and will head down to first. Boy, that had to sting. Well, it's a tough way to wear it, but his club will be appreciative. As now the go-ahead run is in scoring position with 2 away. Andrew Penner is 2 for 3. Couple of base hits, an RBI single back in the first. Mix in a walk as well. He struck out his last time. He faces Sean Hughes with 2 on, 2 out. And now an 0-1 count as he takes a fastball outside part of the plate for a strike.